Hi, I am Megha and you're watching ABM News. Today, we'll go through the famous Keshavananda Bharati case. Keshavananda Bharati, whose petition led to landmark verdict on constitution, dies at the age of 79. What was the Keshavananda Bharati case? The landmark judgment, the Supreme Court judgment that established basic structure of the constitution. Keshavananda Bharati, the head of Edanir Mutt in Kasargod, passed away on Sunday, September 6th. He will be forever remembered for the legal challenge that he mounted against the government of Kerala, which is considered by the majority of legal scholars as the greatest constitutional case in India's judicial history. By a 7 to 6 majority judgment delivered in His Holiness Keshavananda Bharati and others versus State of Kerala, a 13-judge bench of the Supreme Court ruled on April 24, 1973 that the basic structure of the Constitution is inviolable and cannot be amended by the Parliament. The basic structure doctrine has since been regarded as a fundamental tenet of Indian constitutional law. The justices on the constitutional bench were split down by the middle by serious ideological differences. The majority opinion was delivered by Chief Justice of India S.M. Sikri and Justices H.S. Hedge, A.K. Mukherjee, J.M. Shelath, A.N. Grover, P. Jagan Mohan Reddy and H.R. Khanna. Justice A.N. Roy, D.G. Palekar, K.K. Matthew, M.H. Beg, S.N. Dwivedi and Y.V. Chandrachud dissented. The court held that under Article 368 of the Constitution, which provides Parliament amending powers, something must remain of the original Constitution that the new amendment would not change. But while the judgment established the doctrine of basic structure and ruled that Parliament had no power to alter it, the court did not define basic structure itself. It only listed a few principles, among them federalism, secularism and democracy. Since then, the court has been adding new features to the concept. Basic structure. It is today widely interpreted to include the supremacy of the Constitution, the rule of law, the independence of judiciary, doctrine of separation of powers, federalism, secularism, sovereign democratic republic, the parliamentary system of government, the principle of free and fair elections, welfare state, etc. The background of the case: almost immediately after the constitution was adopted, debates began on the extent Parliament's power to amend its key provisions. In the early years of independence, the Supreme Court conceded absolute power to Parliament in amending the Constitution, as was seen in the verdicts at Shankari Prasad of 1951 and Sajan Singh of 1965. The reason for this is believed to that in those initial years, the apex court had reposed faith in the wisdom of then political leadership, when towering luminaries of the Indian freedom movement were serving as members of parliament. In subsequent years, however, the constitution was amended by the governments at will to suit partisan political interest. The Supreme Court in Golaknath case of 1965 held that Parliament's amending power could not touch the fundamental rights and that this power lay only with a constituent assembly. In the early 1970s, the government of the Prime Minister Indira Gandhi enacted major amendments to the Constitution, the 24th, 25th, 26th and 29th, to get around the judgment of the Supreme Court in R.C. Cooper of 1970, Madhavrao Scindia of 1970 and Golaknath of 1967. In R.C. Cooper case, the court had struck down Indira's bank nationalization policy, and in Madhavrao Scindia, it has annulled the abolition of privy purses of the rulers of former princely states. All the four amendments, the 24th fundamental rights, 25th the property rights, 26th the private purses, and 29th the land reforms act, as well as the judgment in the I.C. Golaknath and others versus state of Punjab in 1967 came under challenge in Keshavananda Bharati case, in which the petitioner sought relief against the Kerala government via two states' land reform laws. Since Golaknath was decided by a bench of 11 judges, a larger bench was required to test its correctness, and thus 13 judges formed the Keshavananda bench. Nani Palkiwala, Fali Nariman, and Soli Sorabji presented the case against the government. The fallout of the case, Indira Gandhi's government struck back against the Keshavananda verdict. Chief Justice of India S.M. Sikri retired the day after the verdict and was replaced on April 26, 1973 by Justice A.N. Ray, who was among the 6 dissenting judges. Justice Ray became the 14th Chief Justice of Supreme Court, superseding Justice Shelat, Grover and Hedge, who were at the sides of the majority in the case. Attorney General Nirande moved the Supreme Court without even filing a review petition, and CJI Ray, as master of the roster, constituted a 13-judge bench to review the verdict. However, the bench was dissolved after CJI Ray yielded to immense peer pressure. The doctrine of basic structure has since been applied to several important cases before Supreme Court, including S.R. Bommai case of 1994, when the Supreme Court upheld the dismissal of BJP governments by the President following the demolition of the Babri Masjid, invoking a threat to secularism by these governments. Critics of the doctrine have called it undemocratic, since unelected judges can strike down a constitutional amendment. But by and large, it has been hailed as a check against the majoritarianism and authoritarianism. Credit Indian Express. Signing off, Megha.